Does this clicking noise sound familiar to you? If so, congratulations, you are the lucky winner of a headache. This sound can mean a whole range of issues: gears, extruder blockage, or just a plain old nozzle clog. But don't worry, lucky for you, I already went through all that pain. And when I say pain, I of course include Bambu support as well. Since the internet is already flooded with how to fix this and that videos, I'm not here to reinvent the wheel. Instead, we're going to focus on debugging, figuring out the root cause of the problem, and ideally fixing it ourselves along the way. But one quick note before we dive in: I will not be touching anything related to the electronics, motors, or power side of the printer. That's territory best left to authorized people, and I want to avoid giving you false expectations. We'll only be looking at the safe, mechanical steps you can try yourself. When you're debugging anything, the best approach is to start small, build up step by step, and exclude as much as possible. A huge time saver is to aim for the simple fixes first before diving into the complicated or costly ones. In this video, we will go through 3 simple things: nozzle blockage, extruder blockage, and the extruder gear. In the following images, we are checking both the gears of the extruder and for a blockage of the extruder's filament pathways. One of the common culprits is this exact yellow gear. Here we want to check for 2 things. One, to be sure that small metal rod has its bearing on it. If it doesn't have it, then check your printer's packages to find it and place it there. If you don't find it, order a new set of gears. That bearing will make sure the gear won't wobble. Secondly, we want to actually check for deterioration of the gear's teeth. If you see any kind of deterioration, you'll again need to change it, because that's probably the reason for which the filament keeps skipping. Now, once we remove the yellow gear from the extruder block, we can check the filament's pathways for any kind of debris, and if we find any, to remove it. Be sure to also check it from the sides of the extruder block. Through the holes through the filaments actually enters and exits the extruder block, because you should be able to see through from one end to the other end. If everything's clear, that's that. If not, clear it. But in both cases, you can now reassemble everything. And now for the most painful part, the nozzle itself. Before you'll do anything, please keep in mind to never ever disconnect the cable while the printer has power, and any kind of cable disconnecting should be done while the printer is off. Here we will use the printer to heat up the nozzle for your filament's recommended temperature. Remove the nozzle screws and pull it out while still being connected to the power. Once that's done, start pushing filament through it to make sure we get rid of any debris along the way. And as a word of advice, don't touch it directly with your hand. It's hot. Once that's done, leave the filament inside the nozzle as it is and power off the printer. Trim the outputted melted filament, remove the nozzle from the printer, and leave it a good 10-15 minutes to cool off. After which we will do a cold pull, yank the filament out of the nozzle. Now reassemble everything, and that's that. If you haven't found anything wrong with your parts by this point, please contact Bambu support and be sure to let them know what you've already tried. It might be the electronics, cables, or motor, and for those you'll need specialized help. In any case, dislike, and don't forget to subscribe.